Hey everybody, we finally made it to the KOA at Mount Rushmore. We had some road closures and had to take a roundabout way. We had warnings stating that there was a severe storm cell. So join us for another episode of The Rolling Escape. After leaving Spearfish and Spearfish Canyon, we came right down 385 highway, which would have led us directly down to the Mount Rushmore KOA. However, as we were happily traveling down the 385, we saw road signs that said that there was a hard highway closure where it was completely closed up ahead. Even though we were only about 15 miles from the Mount Rushmore KOA, we had to turn on Sheridan Lake Road and head all the way over to Rapid City, which was about a 60-minute detour. I was already completely annoyed about this long out of the way detour when suddenly all of our phones began chiming and we got this message, which definitely is something we're not used to, again, being from California. I mean, really, guys, where do you run? Where do you hide to protect your relatively new RV from total damage from softball-sized hail? We stopped at a gas station. We were going to stay undercover there, but then we just decided to continue on in the direction that we were supposed to be going. And as we headed towards the Mount Rushmore KOA, it looked like we were headed away from the big, dark, ominous clouds. And we safely made it to the KOA without any hideous damage to our vehicle or to ourselves. We're in the KOA store. Little stuffed campfires and s'mores. That's really cute. These are the sites down on the flat. I wanted a site up in the pine trees. I didn't want to just be kind of here on the flat, one after another. So I'll show you where our campsite is as we go along here. I'm going to take you up on the hill. Our campsite is up on this hill over here. And I'll show you where we're at. So this is where we're at. Kind of nestled in some trees. There's some surrounding cabins. But I kind of like it. I like being up in the trees. You know, they're not, we had to do some leveling, but I enjoy being up in the pines. We're gonna air fry some chicken tenders and make chicken wraps with some tortillas and cheese. I guess we'd call them chicken ranch wraps. Just gonna walking around. first morning here at Mount Rushmore. We're going to head out today, I think, and see Mount Rushmore and some other sites. I think we're going to rent a car and try to hit a few different points of interest. Looks like a beautiful day, though. I'm walking down to pick up a car. We don't really need it today. We could just drive the RV. Today we're gonna try to hit Mount Rushmore as well as Crazy Horse monuments. Later in the week, we're gonna head down what's called Needle Highway, which is a very narrow, windy highway that you go through a little, what they would probably call an eye in the needle, the eye of the needle, kind of tunnel that RVs won't, are too big to go through. And that highway leads down to Custer State Park that we want to go into. There's bison or buffalo down there, and it's a beautiful state park. So that we will for sure need a rental car. So no car for today. The smaller cars they were sold out of, and we want to see the nighttime light show at Rushmore. And if you don't return the car by a certain time, you have to pay for an entire other day. So I reserved a car for Thursday, and we'll take that on Needle Highway and Custer State Park, and we'll just take the RV today to Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore.
There's that helicopter.
We're here at the Crazy Horse Monument. We finally are checking out some of the things we wanted to see. Kennedy's super excited because she's done a report and done all sorts of research on Crazy Horse and the Sioux tribes that all three of these ladies are part of. They are all Native American Sioux descendants. As we explored through the Crazy Horse Museum, there was all sorts of Native American iconic items like peace pipes, arrows, headdresses, and everything that you would expect to find. Ah yes, and the old Indian motorcycle. This is a model of what the finished product is supposed to look like. Here's another larger scale model of the finished product. We were lucky enough to have this Native American family from the Sioux tribe speak to us in their native language and show us some of their dances and their native dress.
I'm 11 years old. Thank you.
we are at a special stop that shows us good old George Washington's profile. It's really something to see this in person. It's just amazing. We're here at Mount Rushmore. They had a special parking for RVs under 29 feet. So they have a big parking garage here. And then they have another area for larger buses and RVs, but this is the small RV parking area. So it's really nicely set up. We're going to hang out here the rest of the afternoon. We're going to do some hiking, then we're going to come back to the RV, have some dinner, and then stay here for the nighttime light show. We decided to take the Presidential Trail. It consists of 430 some odd steps, but it leads you up into the trees right below the sculptures. Super peaceful here on the grounds. You can see this same walkway all the way down there through the trees. This is the entrance to the sculptor studio. To be able to get this close and to have this perspective, I didn't realize that we would be able to do that. This is a perspective you usually don't get when you see this monument. You can see the detail on Teddy Roosevelt's glasses. Well, it's pretty warm and surprisingly quite humid. We've had again today more threat of lightning strike and some thunderheads, a little light rain, which of course increases the humidity. Seems like what we've been looking at, the humidity here has been higher than what the humidity is at home. Here's another perspective of George, President Washington. We just realized that there's two ways to get here, and I think one of the ways has zero steps, because when the sign that goes back the way we came says strenuous path, 425 steps or whatever, and the other way I don't think has any. We'll see. I think that's the way we're taking back. This is the way that we came from. And I think this is the easier way back. It's a great shot of Lincoln. It's amazing to me that they can through blasting, they can make the eyes.
Well, and just the smoothness, like on the nose, going to the nose.
We're sticking around at Rushmore for the nighttime performance, so rather than decide to go back to the campground and then return again, we are just fixing ourselves some dinner here. I'm gonna make myself a salad with some leftover breaded chicken and cucumber, some carrots, maybe a hard-boiled egg. After dinner, we made our way back to the stadium below the monument. And as we were there, we saw some deer pop up who wanted to see the show as well. Guy's sweeping with a bomb dog. While we were waiting, we took turns going inside the Mount Rushmore Museum and Theater, where they showed a film, and we looked at various artifacts related to the building of the monument. But finally, it was time to light the monument. Brought all the Gold Star families and veterans who have served our country up on stage so we could all applaud their service and sacrifice. Well, that's it for this portion of our stay at the Mount Rushmore KOA, but stick around for our next episode, where we actually get lost in the dark after coming back from our nighttime at Mount Rushmore. Then we spend a day at the KOA Resort, venture out onto Needle Highway and Custer State Park, as well as a horseback ride in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.